What's up, guys? Hey, we talked about it yesterday. We got to mention it again, but we have been without a sportsbook, for a long time here on UCSS. We are now officially part of the FanDuel network. So if you are a new customer looking to get into the sports gambling world, you better do it with FanDuel and use the link fanduel.com/UCSS. A first customer bet gets you $200 in free bets, win or lose. So you place a $5 bet on FanDuel, you get $200 in free bets, win or lose. That is guaranteed off a $5 bet. The app is easy to use. There's a wide range of betting options, including spreads, player props, over-unders, and much, much more. If you're feeling good about the Browns, head over to fanduel.com/UCSS. FanDuel, official partner of the NFL, and official partner of the Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show.
I mean, how do you go wrong with that? If I gave you a $5 bill and said, now I want 200. No one's going to make that trade.
No.
Nobody. But you place a $5 bet, you get $200 free dollars?
That is that's like crazy. A dream come true, actually.
It is a dream come true.
But you got to
FanDuel, a dream come true.
Now, you got to be strategic how you
do
that $200.
You can stretch that. I told you I've got a friend that bets like $8 team parlays, and he throws $1 on them every day, mostly baseball. Mm-hmm. But this guy's a sports savant, kids. I'm telling you, he is a sports savant. I don't know how the hell he does it.
You hit an 18-leg parlay.
He
might be the greatest.
He's hit 2 10-team parlays.
That's crazy.
2 of them at $1.
Man,
I hit a 10-leg parlay.
Did you really?
I did.
God, the odds of doing that.
$10 flipped to $1,600.
He made $63,020-something.
Have you ever seen a blackjack dealer do a 10-card parlay? 2, 3, ace, ace,
what are the
6,
odds?
5, 4, 2, 21.
You know what you do when you see that? You go and push away from the table.
Yeah,
you get up from that table.
You be like,
because he's a witch. He's a witch.
I'm
on 20.
And I have seen that.
Yeah,
and you're just sitting there and your jaw is agape.
Oh, it had me. The same thing happened to me in Canada. I was there for like 15 minutes.
Yeah.
And he went to the 10-card parlay, and it was done.
Yeah, some of those dealers are like vacuum cleaners. They just hook their hose right up to your wallet.
And
sometimes you just throw your wallet on the table and say, take it all, I'm out.
It was 3 or 4 young boys that came up and sat right next to me, right?
See, and that's part of it, too, because if they don't know what they doing,
they can mess up your
whole thing.
The young boys kept sitting down. I said, I'm decreasing these bets. These is $5 bets. These are getting all the way reduced. But he was doing them young boys. You could see the desperation in their face. They would scratch together their little allowance money. They out of here. I'm like, bro, I hope you don't got nobody to go home to report to.
It's rough.
It's looking bad for you, bro.
Yeah, it's rough. All right, we just briefly touched on it, but Deshaun Watson, it seems like, and I don't want to be the purveyor of this information, but I call it picking up breadcrumbs. Because that's what the organization leaves, little trails, and we're supposed to follow them. And right now, it does feel like he's trending towards returning, perhaps against Indy, but certainly against Seattle.
Yeah.
But we were told he was cleared to play, and he wasn't. or later it came out, who cleared him? No one cleared him. Then the GM said he's going to play in 10 days, and he didn't play. And so there's just been so much stuff. But correct me if I'm wrong, it feels like the wind vane's blowing in the direction of him playing. What percentage does he need to be if you're the general manager, Andrew Barrett, or the head coach, and you're going to help make this decision? Where do the doctors need to tell you he is for you to say, put the pads on, let's go play? Is 70% high enough?
No, 80. I need 85. I need him to be at least 8. Because 70%, like, stuff happens over a course of a game. Like, depending on the game plan, like, it still might affect his throwing motion, his throwing ability.
Right.
So I can't really open up my playbook all the way entirely and get the full Deshaun Watson effect if he's only 70%. If he still can't make those throws, I'm not putting him out there. Then on top of that,
P.J. Walker better than Deshaun Watson at 84%.
84?
Well, you said you need him to be at 85%.
Well, I'm thinking longevity in this thing.
I am too.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes. 84%. You know what I say at 84%? It's your call. That's what I tell
Leave it up to him.
G.
Bush, what about you? Is 70% enough for you to put him out there?
No, 100. I need 100.
You and I are. Y'all
Y'all.
on the same page. Explain yourself.
So Tyvis, this is why, this was the obvious call. When you're doing 100, the reason you do 100 is you can protect yourself. Now I know that there's less room for injury if he just throws the ball non-contact. I know for a fact now that he can protect himself. He can run, he can throw, he can make all the passes, and he's comfortable. If I get to 100, now I can say to myself, I can run everything I want to. I'm not I don't have any inhibitions about him throwing the ball downfield. And the biggest reason is I already know that I got a top defense, a Super Bowl defense, and if I could steal a game in Indianapolis with a backup quarterback to get them to 100, I'll do it. I don't even care if you start padding, wins, you get to 4-2, hopefully, unlike looking ahead. But even if you go into Seattle and he's like 90%, guess what? I've won a couple of games in a row that gives me a nice opportunity to say, we're not tripping like that. We got Arizona, warm weather. Is they playing Arizona at home or in Cleveland?
Arizona's not, I think, at Arizona.
Yeah,
Okay, nice and warm. It's a nice climate. You don't have to worry about the weather or whatever. He could get warmed up. That thing won't tighten up on him again. And then I would shoot for them. That's just 100%. Because you now have a defense that can keep you afloat even if you don't play your best game.
You know what I love about, so I'm going to call the new G. Bush is homeowner G. Bush, okay? He's more mature and conservative.
Yes.
Because now he understands that's real money when you leave the lights on and leave a room. That is the mature adult in the room decision to make. Sorry, Tyvis. But here's why. For all the reasons that you said, we've been told from a number of surgeons and doctors that live in this world that it is a real scenario that he has a greater chance of tearing completely that rotator cuff if it's not 100% healed. So if there is a bruise there, and there was some minor tearing in there, and that's what led to the fluid loss and the bruising. Obviously, it's like a rubber band. Once you cut it and continue to stretch it, you have a high likelihood of tearing it. If it's fully intact and grown back together, it's as strong as it was before the injury. The Browns were at this same apex in 2021. They had an injured Baker Mayfield, and they were told he needs surgery. But he took a game off. He came back against Arizona, oddly enough. He took a hit in the same shoulder, and now it's wrecked. And really, in that moment, their season evaporated.
Yeah.
And this was coming off a year in which they won 11 games and won a playoff game and barely lost to Kansas City at the Chiefs. They were close. It's not like they were light years away. Make the conservative decision here. You've proven that with a backup quarterback and an elite defense, you can beat a 5-0, which is easily in the top 2 teams in the NFL, maybe the best. This isn't that big of an ask. Yes, it's on the road. And yes, this Colts team with Gardner Minshew beat the Ravens in Baltimore. Anything is possible. But I think we all agree on this panel would agree that the degree of difficulty of going to Indy and getting a win with P.J. Walker is a molehill compared to the mountain that was beating the San Francisco 49ers with him. Get your franchise quarterback well. And to the 85% thing, the degree of difficulty in the NFL, and we see it on so many throws every week, it's an inch here or there. It's putting a ball in a window with converging defenders from 2 different sides, and you gotta gun that ball in there. And if your arm isn't completely up to full strength, that's where Baker went wrong. Baker thought, it's not my throwing shoulder, I can still make throws. Tony Romo was saying, no, he can't. You don't even understand how much velocity you lose and accuracy you lose because all your mechanics change when you have even a left shoulder injury. This is his throwing shoulder. I need him well. We're going to go as far as this guy takes us, not P.J. Walker. Put it on the defense again. Go to Indy. Come back 4-2. McNuggets, you have thoughts on this? Would you dare put him out there if he's less than 100?
I mean, if he's like 90, 95%, I think I would roll the dice. But to be completely honest, if they can beat San Francisco with P.J. Walker at quarterback, I know it's an any given Sunday. Any team
It
can
is.
win in any situation.
Yeah.
But with this defense playing at the level it currently is, I don't think the risk in the immediate future or the reward in the immediate future of one win is worth risking what could be a 10-game stretch towards the end. Plus, I think P.J. Walker, despite the numbers not looking great, he did what he was asked to do for the majority of the game against San Francisco.
Yeah.
And that's all you can really ask for a guy who's being elevated from the third string, from the practice squad, against a defense like that. So I would go with Walker.
I just don't want to. The worst. See, I don't want to go into these other weeks and think just because they did it against San Francisco that's just gonna be what it is. Like, I think that a lot of emotions went into this game. A lot of doubt from outside peers went into that locker room, and they heard it, and they went and they came together and said, we want to prove the world wrong on this, and
they did.
They did, and that thing
that's a fair point.
The thing is, like, the Colts, like, you're favored again. Now you're supposed to go out there and you're supposed to beat them. And I don't want them to take their foot off the gas. Like, when you have a dominant performance like that and you do the unexpected, like, to come back the next week, like, now everybody's like, this is what you need to be. Like, we expecting it to be this. And sometimes people relax a little bit because it's like, we just beat the best.
Have you seen that NFL locker room? Perhaps San Francisco was guilty of that Sunday.
Yeah, it happens
They came off the win and the
against
high of beating Dallas.
It happens all the time.
It's a trap game.
So that's why I'm like, I'd rather have Deshaun in there because I know at least that spark is still there. Because it's like my number 4 back in the locker room. Let's go.
You also know this. If you're Barry and Stefanski, you know you're treading water and swimming for your life here.
Oh, absolutely.
You also understand that if you do bring him back a week early, you know where Indy's going to go.
Yeah.
I mean, he's got a target on that right shoulder.
Yeah.
If they take him out and it's a complete tear and the doctor comes to the podium Monday morning and says, guys, we're going to do surgery on Deshaun tomorrow morning, his season is over. How does that make Andrew Berry and Kevin Stefanski look, knowing that what we know, that there is a higher likelihood of him completely tearing that rotator cuff if he takes another hit there?
They're gonna come after that. That's gonna be. That's
I mean,
a bullseye.
That's
a bullseye.
not just now, for the rest of the season.
That's right.
Everybody's coming after that.
But Tyvis, I do understand what you're saying. Like, people kind of take their foot off the gas, but I haven't seen that with the Jim Schwartz defense. I haven't seen them rest on their laurels this year.
The Ravens game was
No. That wasn't resting on their laurels. Baltimore came out and did their thing. Baltimore came out and had some wrinkles for them. Lamar Jackson was putting the ball on the money. They came out and played well. It wasn't like.
What was weird though is that they get 6 field goals against Tennessee.
Yeah.
Like, it's not like Baltimore's been this offensive juggernaut. They looked the best they've looked all year against this defense.
Yeah.
Granted, real quick, it was 2 short fields. Like, 2
I
of
get
those
that.
touchdowns were very short
No, I
fields.
get that.
Right.
Well, one was a really short field.
First play after an interception, 10-yard line.
I hear what you're saying because I'm with you. Like, I just don't, with Jim Schwartz, I don't think that, because what's happening is right now the world is going, that defense is unbelievable. You guys are the
they're
best.
getting flowers
You're the
nationally.
best since the 80s Bears. And you know Jim Schwartz is coming in like, you're the best, huh? Look at this. You're not in your gap on this play right here.
Yeah.
You don't. Everybody out here telling you guys you so good, but look, you missed this right here. Ain't you supposed to be right here? You missed this tackle. Like, so he's making sure that they stay hungry and they don't get complacent.
You never played under Jim Schwartz, correct?
No, but I just know the type of person.
I'm wondering if I'm sure you have friends in the league that have.
Yeah, Malcolm did.
Okay, have you had conversations with him about things like that? Like how he keeps his team from looking past a trap game?
Yeah, they say that he's very honest and he does exactly what I just said he does. He's
going to point out
your flaws all the time. So you always,
I like that.
In your mind, you're never thinking, man, I'm really great. Like you won't think that because it's like, I got to get better at this. I missed this. I messed that up. So it's like in your mind, it's always working. Like I still got to get better.
Well,
and it keeps you hungry.
I like that. And we also heard Stefanski, I think it was on yesterday, say, trust me when I tell you, we're not concerned about stats. Jim's not looking at stats. I'm not looking at. We don't care about stats.
Yeah, they should.
And where we fit in the pantheon of the all-time great defenses. We have 17 one-game seasons.
Yes.
And last season is over, San Francisco, and now we got another season to get ready for against the Colts. And then when that's over, you'll put that one to bed and you'll start thinking about Seattle. And I do think that that's the best way to look at a season.
Absolutely.
Game to game.
He was even talking about after the game, like, he seen it in their eyes. He just knew that they was going to have a good week because coming into that week, it was San Francisco, and he said that defense was so hyped in practice. It brought so much energy to practice because they knew the task. They knew, like, any chance we got to win in this game is going to be through us. Like, we got a third-string quarterback. Unless he's Willie Beeman, we going to struggle in this game. So they had to be on it, and they were locked in, and they were ready to go.
I like one of the things he said in his postgame comment was, it's whatever it sounds like to be ready in practice, that's what it sounded like.
Yeah.
You know, in other words, the hitting, the chirping, the guys, they were saying all the right things. He's just like, you could just tell from the sounds at practice this week that they were ready.
And, you know, I'm looking at it like this. They still ain't even played their A game. That's the part that why I don't think they'll fall off. To me,
you don't think they've played as good as they can defensively?
Nope. Because, look, Zadarius Smith, he don't even have a sack this year.
Right.
Greg Newsome, no picks yet.
He dropped it.
Martin Emerson just got a...
If they can play better...
I mean,
it's always room for improvement. We're about to find out PFF-wise.
Well, they haven't pitched a shutout yet.
They ain't pitched a shutout. True. Like, they haven't scored on defense yet. There's a lot of things that they could be doing. So, to me, you know, one thing that travels week to week is if you got it, effort. If you got effort week to week, you may not always be able to execute, but effort cleans up a lot of different things. And I have not seen the Browns have a problem with effort and Jim Schwartz getting it out of them.
I seen one bad effort play in San Francisco. That at the end of the game when Brandon Ayuk caught that ball.
Oh yeah,
I don't know what Taki was doing. Like, I don't know what Martin was doing. They just kind of took that play off, and I was just looking at them like.
It kind of was like one of them things where they told them don't let them get out of bounds, and then
but there's better ways to do that.
They could have just let them cut back against the grain. I'm like, dang, tackled the man.
Yeah.
So but I'll say this.
Yeah. It stuck out like a sore thumb to me. I'm sorry,
but the Colts,
it would have been a huge deal if that kick was good.
Oh yeah,
they would have been getting chewed out forever off of that. Because that one play, he got like 30 yards off that play.
Yeah,
it was the one play you couldn't give up, really, and they did. So look, if there's room if they can get better, and they start turning the ball over, and throw a shutout here or there, that would be nice.
Yep, I like that.
My goodness.
They get a shutout. I mean, it's the week
possible
to do it. It's the week to do it. I'll tell you that.